What if everything we believed about Faith's fate was wrong? What if the heartbreak that shattered Jamie and Claire in Season 2 is about to take a turn so wild, so impossible, that it changes the entire story of Outlander? Season 8 might just be the moment where time, grief, and hope collide. And if the trailer is hinting at what we think it is, Faith might not be gone after all. Outlander fans, brace yourselves, because the Season 8 trailer has shaken everything we thought we knew. There's a single line, a moment, a glance, and it's enough to break the internet with theories. One brief scene, one whisper of a name, and suddenly we're all asking the same question. Could Faith still be alive? It sounds crazy, right? But Outlander has never played by the rules of logic. With time travel in the mix and timelines that keep bending, twisting, and overlapping, the impossible is never truly impossible in this universe. The trailer opens with Claire standing by a window looking out with a face that holds both sorrow and something else, something that looks like hope. And then a voice says something faint, almost unnoticeable, but it sounds like faith. Just that one word, and it's enough to light a firestorm across the fandom. Was it a memory? A ghost? Or could it be something far more real? Because we know Outlander doesn't do random. Every moment has a purpose, every word carries weight. And this one, it might be the biggest clue we've had since Season 2. Let's go back. In Paris, Claire gave birth to Faith alone, and in grief while Jamie was in the Bastille. We saw the stillness of that tiny body, the heartbreak in Claire's face, and the devastation that followed. But what if that wasn't the end? What if someone, somehow, took Faith away? We've seen characters cross through time. We've watched families torn apart and reunited across centuries. And in Season 7, there were moments subtle and chilling that hinted something was off. Francoise mentioned Faith, but never detailed her death. Brianna had a dream that felt too real, too vivid. And then there's the journal Roger found. A name scribbled in the margins, Faith Fraser, with no context. Is that just a coincidence? This theory isn't just based on hope, it's rooted in everything the show has taught us. Time isn't linear in Outlander, it's fluid. And if there's even the slightest crack in that timeline, a sliver of a chance that Faith was somehow taken protected or reborn, then Jamie and Claire's story is far from over. Because if Faith is out there, she's not just a lost daughter. She's the heartbeat of their deepest sorrow and the key to a final season that promises to tear us apart. We know that time travel in Outlander has rules, vague ones, sure, but they exist. Stones, energy, ancestry, and intent. We've seen how Brianna, Roger, and even their children interact with time in ways we're still trying to understand. What if Faith, by birth, by fate, by blood, was always meant to exist outside the timeline she was born into? What if she never truly died, but was displaced? If that's the case, Season 8 isn't just the end of a story. It's the rewriting of one. It's Jamie facing the daughter he never got to hold. It's Claire confronting a grief she buried long ago. And it's us, the fans, standing on the edge of a theory that could flip this entire series upside down. The trailer is doing something sneaky, layering mystery inside nostalgia, giving us callbacks to moments we thought were closed chapters. But now those chapters are opening again. And the final season, it looks like it's going to tear those emotional wounds wide open. If there's one thing Outlander has proven, it's that grief doesn't just vanish, it lingers. And in Jamie and Claire's case, the loss of Faith has haunted them for years. Season after season, it's the silent ache behind their strongest moments. But now, as we stand on the edge of the final chapter, all of that grief might be leading to something far bigger. Something no one expected. And as wild as it sounds, time travel might hold the key to everything. Think about it. We've seen Brianna and Roger go back and forth. We've seen children disappear through the stones and come back again. Jemmy heard the stones before anyone believed he could travel. Mandy was healed through time. Claire herself has lived a life across centuries. So why is it so hard to imagine that Faith, born into a moment of tragedy, was somehow caught in a different stream of time? Maybe it wasn't just tragedy that day in Paris. Maybe it was interference. We still don't fully know who controls the flow of time in this universe. Is it fate? Is it ancestry? Is it love? Whatever the answer is, the show has always hinted that certain moments carry more power than others. And Faith's birth, surrounded by lost love and longing, may have been one of those rare, impossible moments where time bent instead of broke. Now take a second and really imagine this: a world where Faith never died but was taken. Whether by someone from the future who knew her importance, or by the mysterious forces we've seen surrounding the stones, the possibility is chilling. And the trailer? It's feeding that theory with every second. The look in Claire's eyes when she hears the name Faith again, it's not confusion, it's recognition. It's something primal, a mother's instinct that her child is not gone. And Jamie, oh Jamie, you can already tell this storyline is going to destroy him emotionally. The man still carries guilt from that day. Guilt for not being there, guilt for leaving Claire alone in the worst moment of their lives. If Faith is alive, the weight of that revelation will hit Jamie like a storm, and it will shake Claire to her core. Not because she's weak, but because she buried that pain so deeply she never expected to confront it again. But let's go even deeper. What if Faith isn't just alive? What if she's already here, living under a different name in a different time, unaware of who she truly is? That would be the kind of mind-blowing twist Outlander loves to pull. And if you go back and rewatch Season 7 with that in mind, there are eerie moments that suddenly make sense. That child Brianna saw in a dream. The voice that called out to Mandy. The letter Roger found. Written in a different hand with a date that didn't belong. All these little details that seemed random suddenly start to align. And that's what makes Outlander so brilliant. It plants seeds years in advance. It hides truths in plain sight. It makes you feel like you're grieving something final. And then it yanks the ground out from beneath you. Season 8. From what we've seen in the trailer is not just a conclusion. It's a reckoning. A final test of love loss and what it truly means to belong in a time that isn't your own. And if Faith does return, whether as a traveler, a child reborn, or a grown woman piecing together a past she never knew, then this story becomes more than just historical romance. It becomes something eternal. A love so deep it breaks the laws of time. A family so destined it bends fate to find each other again. And the fans, we're not ready. Not for the heartbreak, not for the hope, and certainly not for the moment Jamie and Claire lock eyes with the impossible. Because if Faith walks back into their lives, she won't just change their ending. She'll rewrite their entire journey. And we'll be right there, heart-pounding, watching every second of it unfold. Jamie Fraser has faced battles, betrayals, and heartbreak, but nothing has haunted him like the loss of Faith. It wasn't just the death of a child. It was the unraveling of a future he never got to hold. And no matter how much time has passed, that pain has followed him like a shadow. In the trailer, we see glimpses of Jamie sitting alone, staring into the fire, lost in thought. And while the scene gives us no dialogue, the look in his eyes says it all. He's remembering. And maybe he's starting to question everything. If Faith is alive, even the faintest possibility of it, then everything he's buried deep inside will come rushing back. And knowing Jamie, he won't be able to ignore it. This is a man who carries every regret like armor. And this, Faith, is the deepest cut. The guilt he felt for not being there when Claire gave birth. The helplessness of being locked away while his wife nearly died. The shame of surviving when his daughter didn't. If that wound is ripped open in Season 8, we won't just see Jamie fight. We'll see him break. And Claire, her grief has always been quieter, more controlled, but no less powerful. She learned to push it down to survive. She poured her sorrow into healing others, into raising Brianna, into protecting her family through time and war. But the trailer suggests a shift, a softness in her voice, a weight behind her words, as if she's allowing herself to hope again. Just a little. And that's what makes this theory so dangerous. Because if there's one thing Claire knows too well, it's that hope can destroy you. Still, we can feel it building. The idea that something is coming, something she doesn't understand yet, but can feel in her bones. Whether it's a dream, a whisper from the stones, or something Brianna discovers in her research, Claire seems to be waking up to the possibility that the past isn't finished with her. This is where the emotional stakes of Season 8 skyrocket. Because if Jamie and Claire allow themselves to believe, even for a second, that Faith could still be out there, then their world is about to crack open. Every decision, every moment since Paris will be questioned. Did they move on too soon? Did they miss something? Could they have done more? And the emotional fallout of that is going to be massive, not just for them, but for everyone connected to them. Brianna, who grew up in the shadow of a sister she never met. Roger, who's been hunting through the past, trying to untangle the threads of time. And even William, who may be about to witness the Fraser legacy take on a whole new shape. Season 8 won't just challenge their faith in time, it will challenge their faith in themselves. And as the trailer teases, the truth is closer than ever. But the closer it gets, the more it threatens to break them. If anyone holds the key to unlocking the truth about faith, it's Roger and Brianna. They've spent years walking the fragile line between centuries, risking everything to protect their family and understand the rules of time. And in Season 8, their mission is about to take on a whole new meaning. Because what if faith isn't lost, but simply displaced? What if the strange signals they've been chasing, the voices through the stones, the patterns that never made sense, were all breadcrumbs leading to her? Roger has always believed that time is more than just history. It's energy, emotion, memory. And Brianna, an engineer, a mother, and a time traveler herself, has the unique perspective to see both the logic and the mystery behind it all. They've seen what happens when timelines bend. They've witnessed echoes from the past ripple into the present. And now they're starting to piece together something big, something that could change everything the Frasers thought they knew. In the trailer, there's a haunting moment where Roger says, "The stones don't just take, sometimes they give." That one line is enough to send shivers down your spine. Because if that's true, if time can return what was once lost, then Faith's story might not be over. Roger's research has taken him to places even he doesn't fully understand. Strange journals, ancient maps, mentions of a child born under rare astronomical conditions, conditions that match the night Faith was born. Coincidence? Maybe, but in Outlander, coincidence usually means something bigger is coming. Brianna, too, is seen digging through records, flipping through old letters, and staring at an unfamiliar family tree. Her expression shifts from confusion to something closer to awe or fear. It's as if she's found a name she never expected, a piece of her family that shouldn't exist, but somehow does. Could it be Faith? Could she be living under a different identity, in a different time, waiting to be found? And here's the most mind-bending part. What if Faith has already crossed paths with the Frasers and no one realized? A stranger with familiar eyes, a healer with an uncanny instinct, a traveler who speaks of dreams she can't explain. Outlander has always played with destiny, with lives repeating across generations. And if Faith has been alive this whole time, tangled in the very timelines Roger and Brianna have been studying, then they're not just hunting for answers, they're chasing their own blood, their own history. And the stakes, they're higher than ever. Because messing with time has consequences. If they pull too hard on the thread, something else could unravel. Another death, another loss. But if they do nothing, they may never know the truth. This is the line Roger and Brianna must walk, between faith and logic, between proof and possibility. And in the final season, that balance will be pushed to its limit. Because the mystery of faith isn't just about finding a lost child. It's about understanding time itself and making peace with the past in order to save the future. As Outlander approaches its final chapter, the storm is no longer coming. It's already here. The trailer makes it clear, this season will not hold back. Secrets are surfacing, truths are shattering. And at the heart of it all is Faith, Claire and Jamie's first daughter, the one they lost, or thought they lost. Whether she's returning through the stones, reborn through time, or revealed through hidden ancestry, one thing is certain, her presence will change everything. For Claire, the possibility of seeing Faith again is a dream so fragile, it's almost too painful to believe. But deep down, she's starting to feel it. That flicker of a mother's knowing heart. The way she hesitates when someone mentions the past. The way she clutches a necklace that once belonged to her baby girl. And Jamie, he's always been a warrior, a protector. But this is different. Because if Faith is alive, he has to face the version of himself that never got to hold her. The man who failed to be there, And whether that confrontation ends in redemption or heartbreak, it will be the most human moment of his life. But it's not just Jamie and Claire whose lives will be shaken. The entire Fraser family stands on the edge of a truth that could rewrite their history. Brianna, suddenly not the only daughter. Roger caught between timelines and theories, now facing something that defies every rule he thought he understood. And William, Jamie's son raised by another man, now watching his family unravel a mystery that threatens to undo the only sense of identity he's ever known. Faith's return, or even the hint of it, will ripple through every relationship, every decision. And let's be honest, we're not just watching for answers. We're watching for that moment. The moment Jamie sees her, the moment Claire breaks, the moment silence falls, and everything they thought they knew is torn apart by the impossible. And that's what makes Outlander so powerful. It's never just about time travel or history. It's about love, about what we're willing to sacrifice for it, about the grief we carry, the forgiveness we crave, and the hope we dare not speak aloud. Faith represents all of it. The daughter who never had a chance, the life that might still be waiting to be lived. And in Season 8, her legacy becomes the heart of the story. Whether she appears in the flesh or remains a mystery, she forces every character to confront what they've buried. And for us, the audience, she reminds us why we fell in love with this story in the first place. Because deep down, we've always known that Outlander was never about finding a place in time. It was about finding each other. Again and again, across centuries, across heartbreak, across impossible odds. So now, as we prepare for the final season, we hold our breath. Will Faith return? Will Jamie and Claire get one last miracle? Or will this journey end the way it began, with love, loss, and the kind of pain that only makes us love them more? Either way, Outlander. Season 8 is going to wreck us, and we wouldn't have it any other way. Make sure to like and follow for more theories, updates, and breakdowns, because this story is far from over. And trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.